All right, so today we have a Honda GCV160. It's self-propelled and it came with a bagger, and I got it for free from a guy who actually dropped it off at my house. Let's get into it. The guy that gave me this actually gave me this brute right here, and I got that cleaned up, fixed up, and I actually have it listed for 200 bucks right now. And these are both free, so if I can get this one running, that would be awesome. So I already tried starting it and it didn't want to start. So what I always do is pop that boot off, take the spark plug out. I'm gonna spray a little starter fluid in there. And if it runs, or if it pops for just about a second, 99% of the time it means that all it needs is a carb clean. So hopefully that's all I gotta do. And that spark plug that's in there actually looks brand new, so I don't think I'm gonna be replacing that. Another thing, if you don't want to take the spark plug off, you could just pop this little air filter off, and that's like right into the carb. Spray it right in there, and it should do the same thing. So if it pops, that means it's just a carb clean. Fingers crossed. All right, so now that we have starter fluid in the carb, you could also, if you don't want to take that spark plug off, you can pop this open and spray it in here directly into the carb, and it should do the same thing, because you're just really trying to get into the carb. But anyways, hopefully this runs, because like I said, 99% of the time, all it needs is a carb clean or new gaskets. The bad thing about these Hondas that I always run into is there's like 8 gaskets that are in the carburetor, and if you put those out of order at all, or they're nicked at all, that could prevent the mower from starting. But anyways, we'll see if this runs. Hopefully it does. Well, that's why you don't do it on the mat. Oh God, I don't want to take that off, all right? I don't know if you can see that. Well, we'll see. Damn it, that's not gonna be good. All right, mat reveal. Oh no. That is not good. Well, I'm glad I got that on camera. Oh, that sucks. Well, that can be super glued back together. Look at that. That's busted. So is that. Sweet. There goes like 40 bucks. But so, anyways, that doesn't matter. The mower starts. I'm gonna take the carb off and see if I can get it cleaned and go from there. I'm also gonna repair that, so I'll be back. She's a little roughed up, but I threw some duct tape on. Oh, it's not really sticking too well, but whatever, it'll do. Now that the carpet's fixed, we could dive into this. So what you want to do is always take that off right away. That air filter could be replaced. I don't know if I will, just because that's not really that dirty. I'm gonna get these bolts off. We'll go from there. So now that that's off, as you can see right there, those 2 bolts are super long and they go to there. Now the thing that sucks about working on these is there's about 8 gaskets just like this. That's a heat shield, but there's about 8 gaskets that hold on to there. and you have to thread all those bolts through it one by one. So it's kind of a pain. When I first got into working on lawnmowers, I had to watch tons of videos, look at tons of diagrams to figure that out. But that's just me, maybe. Anyways, now that that's off and all the gas is done leaking out because there's probably no more to leak out, take this off, take this heat shield off. That goes on like that, just to remember. Now, take this off. So I'm gonna keep this together for now because I know it's a pain to put back. And like right here, this gasket's pretty bad. That might have been stuck in there. Well, either way, I'm gonna clean it, but that goes down there like that, I think. Yeah, like that. So I'm gonna replace that. You can take this gas line off. That gas line wasn't really on there either. Whatever. Now, always make sure you take pictures of this stuff, like the linkages, so you know where to put them back, so they go right there. The smaller ones for the spring and the bigger ones for the linkage. And then there's the carb. Oh God, there's gas just leaking everywhere. I'm gonna have to turn on a fan. But anyways, there's the carb. That thing is dirty. I'm just gonna take a guess and say, based on the outside being so dirty, I'm guessing the inside ain't clean either. But so we'll get this up on the table and dig into it. So before I even get into this thing, oh God, just like that. I know there's gonna be a lot of gas leaking out, so I'm gonna pop this carb or this bowl off, bring it outside. I'll probably hose it down, just clean off like the dirt like this, just so it doesn't reclog the carb when I'm done. And then we should be ready. So now that's all cleaned up, we can start pulling it apart. And I usually just throw all my stuff on a paper towel like this. Don't forget the jet or the needle. Let's see. It's gonna focus? Probably not. Well, it looks pretty good, so we won't have to replace that, hopefully. But yeah, like, I just sprayed it off with the hose and it already looks like new. I'm still gonna throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but, you know. It looks like all the stuff I have to take off, actually. You know what, I don't think I'm gonna throw this in the cleaner because I don't wanna take this thing off. It already looks good, but I'm gonna spray all this out. Oh, you wanna look in all these little holes right here. And I can see on mine, at least, that there is a little jet piece that has to come out. If I can get it. Oh yeah, there we go. But you want to get all these things out because there could be dirt trapped underneath all this stuff. And you don't want to have to take this apart again. You just want to get it listed and get it going. So I'm gonna get this off because this is annoying. All right, I finally got it out. So that hole is gonna have to get cleaned out, but that looks good. Now this, I'm guessing that this is the problem as to why it's not running. Because if any of these little holes are clogged, it'll prevent it from running. Same thing with this, but that one looks good. But so I'm gonna spray all this stuff down, all this stuff right here. I'm gonna go through, make sure when you're spraying all this down, you really just get every single hole. Even like, I'd even get a screw hole, just to make sure I just get everywhere. You could even pop this thing off and throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm not going to, just because I think that this thing's not really that dirty and, you know, it doesn't really need it. So I'm gonna go through everything. I'm gonna take a little bread twister and poke through everything like that. So like I said, take a little twister that keeps bread from getting stale. Go through everything and just poke through every hole you can. You don't want any dirt lying around. What I use is one of these. They're really cheap off Amazon, but you can get, you know, all different sizes. Go through, poke all it out. You don't need it, but it's just nice to have. So as you can see, those are all see-through. There's nothing stuck in there, so we can put that to the side. I can start going through here. Now that I poke through all those, I'll take my carb cleaner and spray everything out. Now that all this is cleaned out, I like to take a little air compressor and just blow everything out just in case. So we'll throw this back in there, like so. We'll get that in. This thing's a pain in the butt, so I'll do that. So now that that's in there, nice and tight, we can throw this needle back on the float, like that. Put it in there, like that, and then we can throw this little rod in here. There we go. Now all we need is the bowl on top, and this bolt right there. Get it around there tight. There it is. Carb's all ready. So now we'll go throw it on. I'll probably have to replace some gaskets, but I'll show you when we do it. All right, so I do have replacements for most of this stuff because I've just accumulated them over time. So I'm gonna put those to the side, and now we have this to work on. So I'll probably wash this up. You don't want to screw this part up, because this is the most annoying part about Honda lawnmowers. So you got that gasket right there, that metal one. It's more of a mental note for me. That looks pretty good. I'll still probably replace it just because I think I have another one, so put that to the side. And then we take this off. I think there's a gasket. Oh, no gasket. All right. Oh, actually, that's not that bad. All right, so I'm gonna clean this off. I'm gonna clean this off. And then there's this thing, which I've never seen before, but I think I could figure that out. Okay, so I'll clean this up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna try really hard here to put everything back how it was. I cleaned up everything. As you can see, this is like brand new. Clean this, clean that decently. But so the thing that sucks about this is I'm gonna have to put it on one at a time from here. I'll get you a better view here. So here's what we gotta do. So you gotta put those bolts in first, because there were no gaskets. Now I didn't replace this one, I just ended up cleaning it up. But so, like this. I don't remember how that went on. All right, so I ended up cleaning up most of this stuff, so it's all ready to get put back on. But with this, you have to put it on here before you even get to put it on the mower, which is annoying. So what I do is I go like this, like that, and that's the wrong way. I was just testing everyone. Go like that. There wasn't a gasket on the other side, but there was one right here. And I ended up not replacing this one just because it's already really clean. And it's rubber, so you don't really want to replace those unless you really have to. And I think you go like this, throw the carb on like that. Screws are falling out, that's cool. And then this goes on like that. Okay, well, I'm gonna throw this back on and we'll see if it runs like that. But it goes like this, and then this one goes right here. But yeah, I'm gonna throw that on real quick. What I usually do when I fix a carb is, even though, you know, we have clean gas coming to it, and it's clean, like the whole carburetor, I usually just still spray a little carb cleaner in here, or starting fluid, just because it's got to get used to that gas, and, you know, it'll help it circulate itself. But anyways, we'll pop that air filter back on there and see if it runs. All right, so we got that back on there. Make sure the spark plug boot's on, otherwise it's not gonna start. There it is. I sprayed a little starting fluid in there. Fingers crossed, it should run, but you never know. Let's see. There's gas in there. Let me just check the oil real quick. Oil looks good. We should be good. But yeah, fingers crossed I didn't screw anything up and this will start. I can tell you right away that the linkages are screwed up, but it sounded like it started good. But something's sticking. I'm guessing it's that that little piece I've never seen before. That was the last thing I put on the carb. I'm guessing that's the reason. Or I screwed up the linkages, but that's good. That's a good thing. That I don't have to tear it apart and reclean it. So thank the Lord. But anyways, I'll get this taken apart again, and we'll figure out what's wrong with it. Well, just by looking at it for a second here, I can see, you see this little linkage right here? That's not even in there. So that would cause the problem we're having now. So I'm gonna pop that in there and hopefully it'll fix it. All right, I fixed the linkages, hopefully. Got it around there, spark plug's ready, air filter's on. Fingers crossed, this should work great. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but when I started up, I've had one like this before, but when I started up, it shoots up and then it goes down. It's almost like something's wrong with the throttle. And I could probably have figured that out because I was wrenching on this a decent amount. But I think all I have to do is get this somehow to pull over here a little more. Maybe I could tighten these up or do something like that. I'm gonna try screwing with it and see if I can get it going. So I just got done messing with this right here. I also put the linkage back and then tried messing with it a little bit. And I was looking online. I guess these GCV160s, when they start, they're supposed to rev a little higher and then they drop down in their like governed speed. The governed speed that we did have was still kind of low, so I screwed with this so that it bumped it up a little bit, and I'll show you here now. It sounds pretty good. From my side, it sounds pretty good. I don't know why it's not. So actually, and it did start in two pulls, but actually it sounds a lot better. So now that it's all fixed, I'm not gonna change the oil just because the oil looked really new, or it didn't look bad at all. I may sharpen the blade depending on how good that is, but I'm gonna pressure wash it and we'll go from there. All right, so now that it is decently clean, motor runs good, I'm gonna take some WD-40 and spray the plastic parts like this and this, really get it shined up, and then I'm gonna list it. All right, so now that the mower's all cleaned up and ready to list, I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna make sure to get a video of me starting it so that the buyers know that it runs good, and we'll get it on there, and hopefully I'll sell this for around $250. If not, I'll drop it down to $200, but I'll show you the final listing here in a second. It's a couple days later. I'm editing it right now, and I just realized that I forgot to do a recap. So a little recap on that one. I got it for free. I put a spark plug in it. I cleaned the carburetor. I didn't do anything else, and I ended up selling it the day after for $250. So do the math. It's a pretty good deal for getting it for free. But anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.